Now, I wanted to do that part a little bit quicker because this part here is where it gets a lot more advanced. So the second part here, okay, arm yourself with offense. I don't want to just sit here and say, oh yeah, if if a girl's scared of you or she's bored of you, you're screwed. Webinar over. We're done. We're done here, guys. That wouldn't help anyone. So this second part here, this is where to get a girl to, okay, when I do this date and I do this the right way, this is a very high risk, high reward. When you set this date up the right way, I started doing this because when I was a school teacher, one of my first years in teaching, I was going to pick up, at the bar, like two women. I was like, okay, I'm going to try for both these girls right now. And anyway, we got to talking here and there. They asked me what I did. I said I was a teacher. And then they looked at me and they're like, oh, no way. Because in the local community, there's not many male teachers. And then they're like, are you so-and-so? And it happened to be that both of the sons, they both had kids, these two ladies I was sitting on, and both of their sons were in my reading group, which is like I had them an hour a day. And so I was like, oh, crap. So then they started bragging about some of the other moms. I was hitting on them at the bar. And then that got around to the teachers because women gossip. And then the teachers gave me a hard time. So I started to be like, crap. When I was teaching, I was like, okay, yeah, my career first. How do I not let my reputation around here get out that I'm like a player? I don't want to ruin my reputation in my local community because I was a teacher. So I started to have to think about how can I get women from 35 miles away up to, 35 to 2 hours away, 35 minutes to 2 hours away. I was trying to like match with women. And then I got to the point where I would get them to drive to my town. I didn't want to drive to them. I didn't want to meet them halfway. I wanted them to come all the way over, and I wanted them to be excited about the date, and I wanted them to not flake on the date. So that's where all of this came from. So it's a lot to learn, but again, it's high risk, high reward. And here's the solution. This is the Goldilocks method. Goldilocks and the Three Little Bears. And the porridge, it was just too hot, just too cold, and she wanted the one that was just right. So if you're too hot for a woman, she becomes bored and moves on. Signs of too hot is like you're texting her back too quickly. That's why we talk about mirror texting. You're trying to hang out with her constantly or immediately. If we go back to those text examples we saw at the very beginning, trying to hang out with a girl immediately, it's going to be too hot for her. Giving her compliments she hasn't earned, or revealing too much information. Getting that whole like, hey, whole life story out in your like online messaging and all that. What's up, Eric? When you get Tristan, hey man, that's Tristan. That's a good move to do it. There is a deeper way to do it, is where you use compliments as rewards. So then she works really hard to get a compliment from you. But that's a different time, maybe a different webinar. But anyway, revealing too much information, again, she'll get bored of you. It'll be too hot. The porridge will be too hot for her. She'll be like, I don't want this porridge. You know why? Because there's other porridges here. Goldilocks has all these, the whole bear family to choose from, just like Tinder. If porridge is too hot, she's like, nah, I'm good. Moving on. Hey, I've never thought they should earn it. I feel stupid. No, that's it. Hey, Marcus, man, I was Mr. Friend Zone guy. I was Mr. Up until I was 18 years old. I was Mr. Oh, it's okay. You're so wonderful. You're so great. Oh my gosh, I can't believe he did that to you. I was super beta mon pussified. So don't feel bad, anyone, if you haven't done these things right. This has taken me many years to learn, but I'm going to make it a lot easier for you guys to learn. All right, so the next one is if you're too cold for her, the porridge is too cold, she becomes scared and doesn't risk it. She doesn't want to meet up with you. Signs of too cold is if you get angry or emotional. All right, this is those guys that say, oh, you're too good for me, or you text her and then you text her again. Oh, is that too soon? You're getting too emotional about things. You're getting phased by things. Another one is being a dick before she's invested. All right, a lot of guys will say, don't be a nice guy, be a dick. Well, who knows? What does that mean? What does that mean? And I don't like to teach people to be a dick. I don't think we need more dicks in the world. Now, there's a whole way that you could say, that's why I like to break down what the bad boys do, the Chad and Tyrones do to get women interested. But being a dick is just really lazy advice, where it's just like, oh yeah, be a dick. And then you have these guys that are literally being dicks to women, and then they get banned off of online dating sites because they're basically harassing these women. They're like, why would I put up with this? I have these other guys that I can choose from. This porridge is ice cold. I'm going to move on to a different porridge. And then taking yourself too seriously, that's another way that it's just like, she's just like, yeah, this is just cold porridge. I'm over it. That's kind of, that's too heavy for me. You guys know, so I'm double fisting. Eric knows what Eric knows I like my coffee and my White Claw. Got the dual wielding here. If you guys are any Halo 2 fans, the old dual wield. Anyone? Yes, Marcus, Eric, yes, absolutely. All right, now, the solution is the Goldilocks method, aka the whole setting the date over texting program thing. If you are just right for her, she becomes intrigued, finishes her porridge, and heads straight to your bedroom to bump some uglies together. You know how Goldilocks, she eats the porridge and then she goes up and bounces on the bed, sleeps on the bed. It's like if you give her the right porridge, she's like, man, let's go to the bedroom. Let's get this on. Because when you do that, like I say, high risk, high reward. When you do this the right way, women, they've never seen this before. Okay, the solution, being just right. If you are just right for her, you make sure she is interested. You create mystery. You show you're a busy guy. You know how to lead, and you have the abundance mindset. This is what Chad and Tyrone, aka the bad boys, aka the jerks, aka the dickheads, they just know how to do this. Maybe they couldn't teach it this way. They couldn't break it down this way, but they know how to do this for whatever reason. They've just, from experience, learned that this works with women. Now, again, this is why I tell you guys, this is month 8. Because if you were to go straight to this and try to set this date up right away without going through repair your texting, without going through texting mastery, the principles of texting, and having that whole foundation of the idea of communicating with women through the phone and messaging, then this would be hard. It wouldn't work. In that, we saw in the first 2 examples that flaking happened. So those of you guys that aren't here yet, just look forward to this. In fact, okay, wait, I'll show you. Yeah, that'll be next slide. So this is from last month's webinar, How Women Communicate, Think of an Iceberg. And this is going to get your mind in why doing all of this stuff that I'm going to talk about works with women. So again, what she says is just the tip of the iceberg up there. What she means, you guys can't see me pointing. I can see myself pointing on the screen. Here, I'll do it with this thing. What she means is a completely different story under here. Context is key. So this is why the way that we set this up, again, men versus women, we communicate differently. We went all that over that last month in the webinar. So a lot of guys think this is so much work, but really it's the reason why this is so hard is because, again, we keep seeing women from our own point of view. We keep thinking that women are like us. They like things the same way. And that's just simply not true. And we get pushed in feminism. Women are equal to men. So, we must be exactly the same. Again, not true. This is not hard for me anymore because I communicate in a different way with women. I don't have to sit here and think about all the things I'm going to talk about. It's now second nature. But when you just understand, just take a step back and go, okay, I cannot communicate like a man. I have to understand women look at context. They read between the lines. So if I can do my job of basically making her read between the lines of my intent and getting her to play that game, that is what engages a woman and gets women that would drive a couple hours to come hang out and have a date and then tell me this is the best date they've ever been on. I hope you don't take all your Tinder girls on that date, Adam, they say, which I did, or dates similar to that, because, and here's the other thing I'm going to tell you guys. When you do this the right way, that's why I set up one date with a girl, and then from there on out, she comes over to my house. I don't have to do any more sing and dance, monkey act for a woman, because you set such a good first impression with this date that after that you get her chasing and then she wants to spend time with you. I know it's a lot. I'm not expecting anyone to just, be a master after this one webinar, but I'm trying to help this break down the actual program inside the membership too, so that you don't get stuck. Okay, so up here in the top left corner where it says Prince Flicks Attractor Level 9, this is for those of you guys in the web or in the membership. When you watch it, so you watch this on replay and you're like, okay, I wanted to learn more about step 1. Okay, in level 9, it will go super deep. I have all sorts of text examples where I take you through the exact way I set up the date and I show you that step in more action. I do that for each of these steps. Again, I'm combining all of this into one little webinar. It's going to come at you fast, guys, but it's also to show you, if women are flaking on you, there's a solution. It might not be the easiest solution, but it's a solution that works. Okay, so the first step, step 1, before I even ask a girl out, is I make sure she is interested. All of that crap we hear at the movie and the movies and all that stuff about, like, you have to pursue her. You have to take charge and pursue her, and you've got to show her you're a man by asking her out and showing that you're interested. It's like, no, you know what they're doing? They're brainwashing an entire civilization of men to reveal their hand to women, reveal their cards, so that women now get to play the poker hand where they see your cards and now they can make their moves based on your cards. It's a great ploy, guys, but when you do that, you give up your power. And the funny thing is, women want a guy with power. So when you do that, and women will tell you they want you to do that, it gives them the power. They become less attracted to you. It's a weird game, but this is why I always say women will never teach you this game. They expect you to know it. That's how they weed men out. The guys that never learn this game, they are suckers. And I feel bad for them. That's why I'm here. All right, so what to look for? She texts you back quicker than you text her. She sends double texts or double messages to you. Or she mentions something to you about meeting up or getting together. I look for this first before I set up a date. And again, this goes back to the whole philosophy in all of the teachings, that you are the prize. You are the prize. I know this date is so much fun for a woman. I know how to get her anticipating the date, all that stuff. I know it's going to be a lot of fun for her. So why would I give her this experience if she didn't earn it? She's lucky to go on this date. So that, again, that's the background mindset to have to pull this off. You have to have balls to pull this off, because if she's not interested, I don't give her the date and I don't chase. And so it's a lot easier for you guys to chase after a girl and be like, oh, hey, I'm so sorry, I'll take you, I'll do anything. They think that that's easier because it's like, oh, she should want to go, but you lose. She just sees you as weak from the start, and then she will never seriously respect you like she does with the guy she can't figure out. So here's an example, and what you'll notice in all these slides are, I'm pretty sure all of them are all different women. I'm showing you different women with different points in this date, because I can do this with all sorts of women, but the whole first step is you have to make sure she's interested, and you have to see those signs before trying this, or else it will fail, or it will be really hard, or you'll get women flaking on you. So here was Leah. Just an example of, this is just a part of the online dating conversation. Imagine how fun it is when you play a drinking game watching it. How have I never thought of that? The best song to sing along to. And then look at this. The next day. So when are we getting drunk and watching Tangled? Because that's what we talked about here. So again, that shows me, oh, she's interested. Okay, she's interested, right? That type of stuff shows me. But again, if guys get too eager, they blow it. They chase after a girl. They try to ask her on a date before this point. She won't want to go on a date with you. It's too easy. She'll say she knows she has you, and she'll put you in the back pocket in case the other guy bails on her. Maybe she'll text you last minute to try to hang out with you. All right, now look at this. Don't forget, subscribe, like, comment, share the video, but definitely subscribe. Peace.